Tomato Florentine soup.
Yes.
What is the main ingredient in this soup beyond what's in the name?
The main nutrient factor that you're getting out of this soup is beans. So I like to use a cannellini bean.
Fantastic.
You can use any white bean that you have on hand, or if you have a favorite bean, use it here.
Again, so the trifecta, high in fiber,
Yes.
high in protein,
Yep.
low in carbohydrate. This is the trifecta
Yes.
of almost everything that we're cooking today.
So everything that we're making, it gives you the full factor, so you feel full and satisfied. It's hearty, but still light enough that you're not feeling like, oh, after you ate.
All right, so let's get to work.
Okay, so you're gonna dice up the onion,
Yep.
and then you're gonna mince up your garlic, and that is your flavor base for your soup.
Gotcha. When you are looking for your vegetables, what is your go-to place? Are you going to the farmer's market? Are you going to Whole Foods?
During the season, spring through fall, I usually go to a local farm stand. They generally have everything that I need on a day-to-day basis, like carrots and root vegetables, lettuce, tomatoes. In the winter months, and if I can't get to the farm stand, I will just get it at the grocery store. Pretty much any grocery store will have a pretty robust organic section. We're gonna go to the stove.
Go to the stove.
A little bit of olive oil. Just want to heat it until it starts to shimmer, and then you're gonna add your onions. We're just gonna cook them until they start to soften to take that peppery edge off.
It's not a sugary substitute, it's balancing.
Yes, it's all about the balance. And you can do that with the onions too. Like some people find onions that are too overpowering, but I use a Vidalia onion, which is like a sweeter onion anyway, so there's a lot of sugar in these onions. So they kind of caramelize on their own. But I generally, every recipe I develop starts with a sweet onion. And when they start to soften and get a little translucent, then you're gonna add your garlic to that. All right, you wanna add your garlic.
Garlic is ready.
Yep, and then we're gonna add the Italian seasoning. And you're also gonna add a tablespoon of the tomato paste. All right.
Love it.
And then just stir that, and you want it to get a little caramelization, and that kind of makes the tomato paste kind of taste a little sweeter.
I love it.
It adds a little richness to your base for your sauce. This is chicken bone broth. Beef bone broth usually has a little more protein. You can definitely use beef bone broth for here. You can also use a vegetarian stock if you want to go vegetarian. But then if you want to bump up the protein, you can add a protein powder, add more beans.
Love it.
Add some lentils. Make sure you scrape up the bottom of the pot because there's a lot of flavor on there. So the tomato paste and your onions and your garlic kind of get a little caramelization. There's fond. Fond is flavor. You want to scrape all the brown bits up.
Love it,
So you deglaze the pan with the stock. Now we're going to add the tomatoes. So you want to pour in the crushed tomatoes and then give them a stir and the tomato sauce.
Now, is it important which brand you use? Some have more sodium in them.
Yeah, you can get low sodium.
Or is it just important to just check the ingredients?
I just check the ingredients to make sure there's no fake stuff in there or if there's a lot of preservatives. Again, I really love to use fire roast tomatoes. That adds so much flavor to it. To boost up the protein, we're gonna stir in some cottage cheese. So this will be a little lumpy when we're cooking
So we're going to put the cottage cheese in while we're still cooking it?
Yes. It should get smooth and silky like heavy cream, but you're adding protein by using cottage cheese.
Yeah, a lot of protein.
There's actually a little tanginess that I love about this. If you're not a cottage cheese fan, you can definitely go with a low fat or a half and half dairy product and then add collagen powder or protein powder or something of that source, or add more beans. We're just gonna do like a couple scoops of that.
Love it.
And then just stir that in till it's all incorporated.
I have to say, this is the first time I've ever put cottage cheese in at this stage.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then once that's stirred in, we're going to add some salt, smoked paprika, and the pepper. Now we're gonna add the beans.
Now the beans. Now these beans were washed.
And rinsed. The liquid that's in the can has a lot of sodium, so you don't want to dump that into your soup. So you want to rinse all of that off. You can get low sodium beans, but you still want to rinse them. And so the curds, because we're pureeing this, the curds are going to be pureed as well. I like to add a green, so I add spinach, or you can use chopped kale. Because it cooks down a lot,
Yes, it's
we're
a fair
just going
amount.
to add, a big handful. Just stir that until it's all wilted. So if you're making this to not puree and you, when you go the cottage cheese route, you can put your cottage cheese in like a mini food processor or a blender and just blend it until it's smooth. And then you just stir it in, and you're not going to have the curds then. You
could also chop these up too.
Yes.
And
into
you
like
wouldn't even have
ribbons.
to blender it.
Right.
You were pulling this out of the freezer, warm it, chop your kale or your spinach, and then you just put it in.
Yes, chop it up real fine and like throw it in.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's our soup. We're going to use the stick blender and we're going to puree this.
We ready to taste?
Yes, you're ready to taste.
Thank you so much. This looks fantastic. Oh, it's delicious. It's creamy, it's smooth, it is warming to the palate. It's very substantive. It feels satisfying.
Yes. It definitely is like that cozy.
It's the perfect word.
It's like a warm blanket for your belly.
Warm blanket for the belly. I love it. All right.